Hi everyone, my name is Sam Weber, and I'm going to be giving a presentation on my observations that I made at the mid-sized suburban public library that I shadowed at. This is the culmination of about 8 hours of shadowing, and the interesting part is I went into this experience blind because I've never worked at a library before, so I was familiar with the theories that we've learned in this class, but not how they actually get put into practice. I finished the experience with three main takeaways. One with that community programming is replacing traditional reference as the primary focus of the library. Two, that reference questions are very seldom asked at the desk. And three, that the lack of AI adoption to assist librarians should be addressed. And for this presentation, I'm going to be focusing more on the first one, as one thing I noticed was that community programming was a big focus of this library, and it seems like that is more the shift in focus when it comes to reference. Uh, Programming is a good way to get the reach of the library expanded, as opposed to focusing on traditional reference, which is really shrinking in terms of importance at the public library. Dave Tychosen identifies four major functions that form the original basis of reference services: teaching people how to use the library and its resources, answering readers' questions, aiding the reader in the selection of good works, and promoting the library within the community. The latter of these is the main function of these programs. So one key thing about the programming is that a lot of this started with COVID-19. The library needed ways to attract people to their services. So they came up with programs such as library by mail and curbside pickup as a way to get materials out to people who couldn't make it to the library while it was shut down. And then even afterwards, they still did these services, especially library by mail, for people who either couldn't drive or preferred to stay home. A big part of this is book kits that they would take to places like retirement homes. They would be pre-made for the patrons, and they were really popular, and they still remain popular, even though the COVID-19 pandemic is not as serious a threat as it was. I spoke with the librarian in charge of the technology literacy classes and the ESL and foreign language groups, and she gave me some really interesting information on those classes, and I'm going to go into a little more detail about those too. But in addition to those, there was tax assistance during tax season. However, since I shadowed in October, I wasn't able to really talk that much about those. So for technological literacy, it's one of the most popular programs at the library. It's mainly attended by elderly people who need help learning new technologies, and they really focus on iPhones, Androids, smartphones in general, setting up Wi-Fi at home, and then Windows and Mac operating softwares. This is really important because the main way people access information nowadays is through these types of technologies. And if old people and just people in general need help with literacy, it's the libraries in their best interest to ensure that they can take advantage of the technology that the library is offering, which includes access on phones and computers. And I thought this was a really good quote. Well, it might sound dry on paper. The reality is that digital navigators help individuals every day with navigating modern life in efforts that seem simple, but that are truly transformative. I thought that really put into good words the importance of this program. ESL programs are another popular ones in the community that the library I shadowed at serves. There's a lot of people who English is not their first language, so attending programs like these helps them build communities of like speaking people, which is the main focus of these when I talked to the librarian in charge of them. She did cooking classes and book clubs to gather people together. And she also provided ESL programs to help those people learn English if they weren't very familiar with it or confident in it. Wrapping up, community program is a major focus of this library. It's kind of the next step in reference. I think it's very important to stress how important it is getting the library's resources out to the public and not expecting the public to come to the library anymore. And I think the diverse offering of programs is a very important aspect as well, as they include more people from the community and cast as wide a net as possible to various patrons. Thank you.